Back on the Columbia Cougars Coaches Show, talking Cougar basketball with head coach Bob Burchard. Again, we mentioned it briefly, Jordan Dressler, AMC Player of the Week. Also mentioned Kayla Rice winning for Mike Davis's Lady Cougar basketball squad for the Player of the Week. It's always nice when you get on the NAIA and AMC online website and you see Cougars again, where they were for a lot of the soccer season as well as a lot of the volleyball season. And we'll talk more about Coach Washington's volleyball team off to the national tournament. For you guys, after the Quality Inn Thanksgiving Classic at Southwell, you look at the schedule and you're not back until you're home for the Cougars versus Cancer Classic at the end of the year. So really the month of December is going to be road trips.
It'll be a challenge, Cosmo, and good teams and tough trips. And so I think we have 7 straight on the road. Some of those are neutral site games, but still not in Southwell. We're playing at William Woods in their version of our type of classic. First up is Martin Methodist, who preseason number 5, I believe, in the country, and was up in the final 8 in the NAI tournament last year with all their returning players. So that'll certainly be a challenge. Lindenwood Belleville, a new team that we've seen just to start with. I think soccer played them this
Sure.
year, and volleyball had them, and so we get our shot at them here in that.
I have to call Coach Dan Hogan and ask him for the extra recruiting insight on the basketball team there.
Yeah, John Klein might have taken care of that with his win over them. Yeah. But and then we go have our finals week, as we talked about earlier, and that's another challenge for college athletes, just the stress of finals. Come out of that, go to Benedictine, Kansas, which is a really strong team out of the Heart of America Conference, and that'll be a tough road trip for us. And then we take another trip up to Chicago, and they're going to play at St. Xavier University. It's a gorgeous university in Chicago. It's a 3-day tournament, so we'll play 3 games in 3 days. Right ahead of Christmas time. It was really going to shorten our Christmas break, but what really happened to us in a lot this year, Cosmo, is that with the loss of McKendree, we lost 2 conference games. It's very difficult to find 2 games in January and February, and so we had a big gap in our schedule, and they invited us to come to that tournament, and that helped fill that gap. Again, it'll be another case of going out of region and playing teams we don't normally play. And they're all good teams, and it'll certainly be a challenge for our team. And
I know over the years you guys have put together other activities. Obviously 3 games in 3 days doesn't leave you for a whole lot of time around the Windy City on the Miracle Mile and doing some other things, but I know that in the past on the road trips you've had an outing to the bowling alley or something to kind of work on team building as well as off the court to kind of keep the guys distracted maybe from all the X's and O's of the basketball game too.
Again, I think what you mentioned, team building, is a big part of that, Cosmo, and there is a lot that goes into when you're taking trips like this. Not only just the adversity of playing, but just the logistics of it, and just being together in concentrated time, bus travel. You know, a lot of that has to do with how your team interacts. You know, as coaches, we analyze everything. And you do really learn a lot about your team in those type of scenarios. You kind of start to pick up a little bit on communication skills, who takes care of other people, you know,
Same leader of the buffet line, maybe not the same leader in the paint. Is that what you're saying?
Without question. And how they sit, and to be honest with you, really how they sit together in the restaurant, and how they interact with other people. And believe it or not, those are all very important parts of the college athletic experience, and just growing up as young men. So we do like to give them that experience. We do like to try to be successful when we're doing it, though, and that'll be a challenge for us.
And then obviously the next time to see the Cougars at home is that Cost Cutters Cougars versus Cancer Classic games on the December 30th and the 31st. Some other teams coming in. Can you give us a little bit of a preview of the scheduling? And
again, this is our big fundraiser for our Relay for Life team here in the fight against cancer. Cost Cutters is a longtime wonderful sponsor of that event for us, It is a men's and women's tournament, which is fun. So you have games all day long,
right.
2, 4, 6, and 8 for 2 days. You get to, again, to see a bunch of different teams. On the men's side, we're bringing in Hastings out of Nebraska, and haven't played them in years, and they've been a very competitive, strong team. And then Cumberland out of Tennessee, which is another Trans-South team, just like Lyon College and Martin Methodist. So and they're off to a great start this year. So we may be overscheduled a little bit, but we'll certainly, that event again is a very fun event for us. William Woods is the other conference opponent that plays the same opponents that we do in that tournament, so they'll bring good crowds as well.
And you mentioned the overscheduling, but ultimately the preparation to get ready to compete head-to-head in the Smash Mouth style with the AMC conference, which ultimately that tournament holds the ticket to get to that national tournament in Kansas City.
It's all about being prepared, Cosmo, and you play 30 games for a reason, and you try to pick those games wisely, and you try to make sure that you're ready to go when you get to that second semester.
And again, for more on the Cougars versus Cancer Classic with Cost Cutters, if you get on ColumbiaCougars.com, the full schedule of events, all the opponents, and all the information you need to know about that. It's a great event with silent auctions and many other things going on here at Southwell Complex. When we come back, we'll wrap things up. We'll talk about some of the other programs at Columbia College, in addition to the basketball squad, and pick Coach Burchard's brain a little bit about some of those other sports and some of the other athletes. There's some new athletes coming in for both golf, and John Klein has signed his first women's soccer player. We'll talk about that next on the Cougar Coaches Show on Mediacom Channel 22.